Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. And let me ask you something. Have you ever been part of something that finally worked? The systems are in place. The team knows what they're doing. Customers understand the product, and the chaos of the early days is gone. But suddenly everything feels stable, predictable, efficient. Welcome to the maturity stage, a stage I don't know very much about in my life. I like to keep it light, but guess what? I'm talking about the business cycles, the business stages, and when we achieve maturity. Welcome again into Kindness Rising. I'm Matt Rouff, the Uncommon Kindness Guy. I come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to get you up with a little hope, humanity, and heart, no matter where I am coming in from. And today I am coming in from a remote location. My first broadcast, my first one from a remote location outside of the Fox Den. I am glad to be here. I am in Rochester, New York with my sister at her home because my family is here. Both of my kids are here in the Rochester area right now. And so I am visiting and brought my little podcast studio along with me. Welcome into Kindness Rising. If you're out there in the community, when you're out there in the community, let me know, say hello, and we'll get it going. We'll get it going. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. We are talking today, finishing up our series on the business cycle when we've achieved maturity, something that we know very little bit about here on Kindness Rising. Actually, we know a lot about it in terms of business maturity, even though we keep it light and fresh, maybe a little immature around here. And I'm coming in from Rochester, New York. Like I said before, this is my first time outside of my main studio, set up here at my sister's dining room table to get us up and get going. There we go. Sometimes it takes just a minute when you're not where you fucking be. I knew I'd be here, planned for it, glad to be here. And we're talking about the maturity stage, where organizations become highly efficient, systems get defined, roles get defined, and companies understand its customers at that point, right? From outside, maturity looks like success, and in many ways it is, right? You've achieved what you wanted to achieve. But this is the stage where companies start to become leaders, right? They've matured, they are leading the world in their area, and people are following behind. But it also can bring a very, very dangerous problem with it for businesses, and that is comfort, getting comfortable, too comfortable. I'm Shane from Stardew. I don't know what that means, but okay. That's hysterical. Dragon Saki, welcome in. Yeah, we'll talk to anybody here. Mike Sullivan, future life coach. I know you come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, getting up and getting going together. Dragon Saki. I don't know anything about Stardew. I hear about it, but I don't really know what it's all about. Okay, Anyway, I am talking about the business, the business cycle. Yeah. And the problem we get when we get too comfortable with stuff. Systems that mature, they make maturity successful. They can eventually slow your innovation. You got to make sure that you keep that curiosity lit. And when success becomes predictable, risk taking can disappear, and organizations start protecting their past instead of looking to the future. Good morning, Roseanne, Rouff, yes, and family. You're just not in it. I'm just not in it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in it. Dragon Saki. Yes, Mom, I am here at your other child's home doing kindness rising thing that I do every morning, no matter where I am. And I want to talk about a real world example. Kill the music a little bit, maybe. All right. Talk about a real world example of maturity turning into complacency. I think we're all familiar with the story. At least I know anybody who spent a Friday night in the 80s and 90s in their hometown, maybe even a Saturday night in the 80s and 90s. We didn't go to the drive-in movies like they did in the 60s, right? Or the movie theaters, actually, like we did in the 70s. We went to Blockbuster. It was a whole thing, right? And Blockbuster dominated the home rental business. We had a place in town here called Video King, which was a big one too. But obviously, Blockbuster owned the home movie video rental as VHS transitioned into DVD before somebody else looked at this business model and said, wait, there might be a better, more efficient way to distribute content, right? This little company started, oh, you don't have to go to the store. How about if you just write me a letter and I'll send you a CD? Or send me an email and I'll send you a CD, a DVD, right? That's how Netflix did it, right? You ordered it online and it arrived at your house and you waited, and you got in line and waited for them to have enough of the film and it showed up and you're like, oh, what are we watching today? Oh, we ordered that. Remember that when Netflix did that? Yep. Or the red box, right? You'd go out to the grocery store and get your DVD. Well, maturity happened, right? And Blockbuster did not evolve, particularly Blockbuster did not evolve into the streaming world. And that's why Blockbuster doesn't exist anymore, except as a board game we actually have at our house. We played it last Christmas. It's actually kind of fun. The Blockbuster, it's a little board game, all about trivia about movies. But and you can see I'm a little out of sync here because I'm coming in from an alternate location. And we are just winding down on a Friday. I am here to make my commitment to you to show up, get involved in the comments. We're taking it light, keeping it light today. I'm gonna jump into maybe another tune. It's a fun one. All right, more music, right? So we're talking about the maturity stage and making sure we push past it. But even in maturity can last for a long time. You always have to be looking for those innovations out there. But in that, for the business sense, maturity can last for a long time. And who are the people that work best in a mature stage company? You're talking about people who are true operators, understanders of systems, people who can optimize processes and build efficiency and quality into their operations, right? That's why you see mature businesses. I mean, even businesses that should be cutting edge and right out there on the edge, but are less risk taking, right? That are mature businesses. We're looking at things like healthcare, where I come from, and oil and gas, and all those infrastructure type businesses where the growth has happened, but now we need to focus on efficiency and quality. How can we improve becoming consistent? How can we serve our customers better? How can we make the organization even stronger and build our structure that keeps the machines running smoothly? The machines literally, in the case of manufacturing in other ways, and the machines in terms of people. Delusional liar. I'm a delusional liar? Ape City, what am I lying about to you? The game of life was such an impactful lesson for me. Yes, it was. It sure was, Sully. I agree with you 100%. Absolutely. The game of life. The other one I really enjoyed was Payday. Remember that game, that board game? You'd go month to month and you'd have to pay your bills, and sometimes you'd get a bonus or something would happen. Life would happen. You could play as many months as you want. We usually played 3 months in Payday when we were playing Payday. But I know we would have marathons sometimes. 10 months, we're going to keep going. Anyway, that's my absurd story about the board game Payday. Played a lot of those in my day. As I'm navigating, he doesn't have a subject in his sentence. Right, Sully? Okay, that's fine. He doesn't have a subject in his sentence. Could be a bot. Who the heck knows? Who knows? I don't worry about this stuff, but Sully, I appreciate that you're out there interacting and hanging out in the stream, always with us every morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern on Kindness Rising. That is what we do. Yep, and we talk about our 6 strings of kindness. Our 6 strings of kindness that include kindness, balance, action, curiosity, self-awareness, and growth. And our subject today, maturity, I think that requires 2 of our 6 strings. First is balance, right? You got to balance that efficiency with innovation when you're in the maturity stage. Otherwise, you will atrophy and die. Too much structure, and you stop being creative, right? With too much chaos, and you can't make any progress. So that's the balance that keeps an organization healthy. And lastly, and secondly, self-awareness. Mature organizations, just like mature people, have to ask themselves, are we still evolving? Are we going in the direction that we want to be in? Are we still acting curiously, listening to the world around us? Because self-awareness keeps maturity from turning into stagnation. Absolutely. Wow, this one goes hard. That guitar. This is the anthem, the call anthem. All right, cool. Lots of fun here on Kindness Rising, coming from our remote location, a very, very remote location. No, actually, we are in downtown Rochester, New York this morning, coming to you as we get up and get after it on a Friday. On a Friday, it's going to be a family weekend for me. I hope you guys are getting ready for a weekend, a good time too, as well. All right. Get involved in the comments. Come on in, say hello. Tell us what you're up to this morning. What are you doing to make your Friday a little bit kinder, a little bit better for you and for the world around you? One way that I am doing that is by highlighting organizations that lean into our subject. There's our spotlight anthem for today. And the Kindness Spotlight. We're highlighting organizations that help nonprofits thrive, or that are nonprofits themselves, or social impact organizations that are out there making a difference in the world. And even on weeks when we are talking more academic business cycled structure stuff and leadership stuff, we can always find organizations that are out there making a difference. And today's organization is one called Ashoka, Ashoka, and they work with social innovators around the world. We're building solutions to problems like poverty, education inequality, and climate change, because many of these organizations, they're focusing on these problems. They start as small startups, right? But Ashoka helps them to move forward, take their ideas, move them forward to scale, to evolve and expand their impact, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And they are a reminder that maturity doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can also mean deepening your purpose. Absolutely. We talked earlier this week about Ben and Jerry's, right? They started on a $5 correspondence course about how to make ice cream. And of course, they're known now worldwide as ice cream gods, I guess, as far as that goes. But what I really love about Ben and Jerry's, of course, is that they brought purpose to their world, not just profits, right? Not just soulless profits, using those profits for good. Absolutely. So here's something I want you to think about today. Where in your life or in your work have things become stable? I mean, it's been a while. I'm looking forward to a little stability, actually, but where have systems become predictable, right? That might be something where things are a little matured, and sometimes it's a wonderful place to be, but it's also a place where you have to remember to be self-aware enough to ask, how do we keep learning? When you stop learning, you stop living, right? And so that's absolutely, I was just reading about that and I forget. Oh, actually in my book that I'm reading right now, Merlin the magician, talking to who will be King Arthur when he was a child, and was talking about the fact that learning is life. And when the learning stops, life is over. So I think that's a very poignant point. It obviously stuck to me because it came out organically this morning as we're here talking about maturity and learning. Thanks again for joining me here on Kindness Rising from our remote location. Life is better with cats. Goodness knows that. I'm here in Rochester, New York with my sister. I've talked about her before on the show, and certainly hers is a house full of cats. I thought for sure we would have one or two cats or a sound or something coming through, but the cats have been pretty well behaved. I think it's because they just got fed. They're probably just chilling. They're just chilling. All right. So here's your call. Today's kindness call. Today's kindness call is simple. Take one process in your life or work that feels routine and ask yourself this question: how could this be better? How could I make it better? Because innovation often begins with that kind of curiosity, returning to familiar ground, and then asking the question, how can we do it better? That's today's kindness call. Just ask yourself, how can I do this better? Thanks for joining. Thanks. Yes. We are making it happen here. It is 7:49 Eastern time on a Friday afternoon. Friday morning. Jeez, Friday afternoon. Feels like afternoon. I've been up since about 4:45. Life happens. Whatever. I'm up and at 'em this Friday for sure, and I'll be sticking around. And sticking around here on Mornings in the Lab Network. Absolutely. I actually want to share something, as long as it's just a few of us here. I see there are 3 people out there. If you're one of the 3, say hello. I'm gonna Oh, there's Mike Sullivan. He's one of the three always out there. I appreciate you. And Roseanne, I'm going to show you. Now we're up to 4. All right. I'm just going to keep counting while I figure this part out. I'm hysterical sometimes. Okay. Hysterical, historical, historically hysterical. Oh my gosh, there it is. There it is. All right. I can't see myself, but I think you guys can see that. Have I ever shared this with you guys before? I think I have, but I'm sharing it again. This is it. This is the landing page, the place to come for Mornings in the Lab, the Mornings in the Lab Network, MITL.network. Come check it out for sure. We're going to scroll. This is just giving you an idea of what the network is all about. Just like some of your other popular uh, popular platforms, it scrolls like that for the typical user, seeing all of our shows, all of our content, from our shorts to our full programs to the morning lineups and the shows. And you're going to be seeing more and more rows and rows of shows added as we go along here. That's the MITL network, Mornings in the Lab network. But what's really exciting and what goes on behind the scenes is right here. What's happening in our studio? Mornings in the Lab is not just a show. It's not just a couple of shows. It's not just a handful of shows. It's a network. It's a platform. It's a full system for live morning conversations that build community, the format where people don't just watch, they show up, belong, and come back. That is absolutely the point. So we are a live conversation system where people get a show, we get into the community studio. We're going to talk about that. We do live show production, interactive audience design, and companion community apps. Every show that joins us gets their app. Absolutely. So that there's more belonging. There's more belonging. That is what we want to talk about, right? And to show an example of companion app. I don't have one yet, but Mornings in the Lab has theirs, right? People can come in every morning to their show, shows the segments, what they're up to, places you can log in and say hello. That's what's coming up here for every single one of our shows. So that's that. Let's see. I don't know if you guys are even seeing that at that point. Were you guys even seeing what I was doing? King Arthur story, another great story. Yes, yes, the King Arthur story. I'm going to bring that, Sully. I'm done sharing this. I'm going to pull this off. That was kind of a fail. It was a trial of something, trying to show the studio off. I got to figure out how to do it better for people. But that's what we're doing. We're building live. We're building our sales functions live too, and we've got uh, a few people who are coming to join us very, very soon. Very excited about that. Um, yeah, so it's amazing, unbelievable, the intersection of AI and human that is happening here on the Mornings in the Lab network. Come check it out for sure. For sure. Appreciate all of you coming and joining us. And again, the whole premise, the whole idea of the Mornings in the Lab network is to get people up and get started in the morning. How much junk is out there? I was just scrolling this morning because I woke up early. I'm like, let's see what's out there. I'm on LinkedIn because that's a place where I spend a lot of time meeting people and networking during the day. But in the morning, it is just all sludge and junk that comes through that. But people sit there and they go scrolling through their feed anyway and looking through that junk because it's just mind numbing. Why not join the Mornings in the Lab network? Start the conversation if you want to have your own show, or at least get involved in the conversation in the chat and get your morning started with a little bit of community, a little bit of support, some fun along the way. We're going to have lots of different shows starting with lots of different vibes. Pick your vibe, get involved. But make sure you keep coming back here to Kindness Rising. We think we have a lot of value to offer to everybody in the world. Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, the R-rated experience that is all about conversation and leading the way, and just might be a little bit of a mind game a little bit, because you look at these guys and you go, what are these guys going to be talking about? And then all of a sudden they're talking about their families, and they're talking about their experiences and learning and growing. And that's what we're doing here on Mornings in the Lab Network. We get up and we talk about those things. Check out Cheryl Raphael Whitaker too. She is out there with It Starts With Joy on Wednesday mornings at 8:30. We've got Jason Hewlett, who's our only non-morning show, but that's okay because he shows up every week on the Jason Hewlett Show at 5 p.m. on Thursdays. Check him out. And you can always, we'd love it when you come and join us live, but you can always, always, always go to mitl.network, and check out the content that we have for you to help you. Is that going? I don't know. I tried. There we go. There it is. Check out our content. We have a lot of fun creating it. Get involved in the community. That's the other thing. Get involved in our communities. Tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to see. I'm here for you. I get up 7:30 a.m. I'm here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. It helps me. It helps me, honestly. It's giving me my accountability on a daily basis in a way that I have really never experienced before in my life with this. But more importantly, it gives me a connection. It gives me a connection to you through this little digital widget right here. This thing will help me to connect with you. Absolutely. And I'm glad to get connected. And don't forget to stay connected. Subscribe to the channel, Kindness Rising, here on YouTube and on LinkedIn. Get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends on the Mornings in the Lab network too. That's it. We're winding down. We are winding down our week, our business cycle week. I don't know what next week's going to bring yet. Haven't even decided, but that's the beauty, is I get to decide. I get to decide every single day, just like I get to decide what I'm going to have for dinner. I get to decide what I want to talk about on my morning show, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and you can too with the Mornings in the Lab network. But as we wind down, I just want you to remember, getting back to that business cycle conversation, maturity is not the end of the cycle. It's the moment where success becomes sustainable, but it's also the moment where organizations must stay awake, because the systems that created success, they have to continue to evolve. Otherwise, that next cycle of renewal, reinvention, and growth will never come. Business atrophies, and we will lose it. We don't want to do that. We want to grow. So anyway, I appreciate that you came out with me here in our remote location in Rochester, New York. It's time now to get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. I appreciate you all. I'll see you Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.
What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.